Welcome back to another episode of the Two Blues podcast and another live match reaction hosted, as always, by myself. Fresh match reaction from Old Trafford. Chelsea 1, Manchester United 2. We got absolutely thumped. We got absolutely humiliated. This is not going to be a fun stream. There are not many positives to take from today's game. It was an all-round horrible display. If not for Thiago Silva and Robert Sanchez, it would have been 4 in that first half. Should have been 4 in that first half. We did not deserve to go into halftime level. We really didn't deserve to get a goal on the score sheet today. We were absolutely diabolical. Nicholas Jackson was awful. So many of those players in the final third were terrible. Their decision making, the balls that they put into the box, their finishing. I mean, it was so rash. I mean, in midfield, no control whatsoever. I hate to say it, we missed Conor Gallagher. That 3 of Conor Gallagher, Enzo, Caicedo, we had it on lock. I've been saying before, if you drop out Enzo and or Caicedo, it's a crucial linchpin in that midfield and we will feel the impact. It's exactly the same with Conor Gallagher, or it felt that way tonight at least. We had no control over the midfield, no control over the game. Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo were both poor tonight. Enzo particularly, I've been bigging up Enzo massively. I'm a huge Enzo Fernandez fan. He was poor tonight. On the ball was okay, but off the ball, absolutely terrible and lost it way too much. Lost it way more than he usually does. Caicedo as well. Yeah. More mistake prone than usual tonight, more misplaced passes, more unenforced errors, got caught on the ball more. But I've got to be honest, I mean, I just don't understand what happened and what went so wrong in that first half. We looked, and I said this at half time, we looked like we were playing with 9 men. We looked like we were being overlapped on both sides, on both flanks. Any time that either Cucurella or Levi Colwill was faced up, they were doubled up. They came inside with their man, and there was someone on the overlap. I don't understand how we were getting overlapped on both sides. And I thought Cucurella was dreadful in that first half. I think he patterned up. I think, thank God that we patterned up and put Reece James on in that second half, albeit not a fantastic performance for Reece James. I've got some words for Reece James, but we'll get onto that in a little bit. First half first. Cucurella, yeah, really not good enough for me. He put in that shift of performances when he came back. He put in a couple at right back, couple at left back. And he was more solid at right back, which is, I think, why Poch has opted to put him back there now. But dreadful performance from Cucurella on the whole today. Got absolutely humiliated by Garnacho multiple times. Got the benefit of the doubt from the ref a couple of times as well when fouls shouldn't have gone his way and Garnacho was clean away. Yeah, Cucurella definitely stinker for me. I mean, yeah, Thiago Silva, I can't speak highly enough. There was a couple of times where he got outpaced cleanly. Didn't look fantastic in a 1v1, but I can't really speak too ill of Thiago Silva. If it wasn't for him, it definitely would have been more crucial goal line or near the goal line clearances. He continues to show his class. But it was a lack of experience from the rest of the squad today that let us down a lot. I mean, the penalty, obviously, I think it was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I think it was a penalty. It gave him enough cause to go over and look at it. When you put your foot in like that, it was a stupid challenge. And I've been berating players like Reece James, Conor Gallagher for picking up stupid cards, stupid sending offs for these silly challenges. And this was an equally silly challenge. Didn't need to do it for 4 minutes into the game. So rash, so reckless in your own box. The ball was gone. Never going to get the ball. Enzo Fernandez showing his inexperience there, and he was off it all day today. Yeah, not best pleased with how he performed. Hopefully he can pick it up next week. Obviously, Everton's going to be a huge game. Their tails are up. I really don't fancy us against Everton after tonight. It's just tough to see. It was agonising. I'm tough. I'm trying to see positives out of this. It was not just frustrating. Recently, we've had performances where we've been frustrated in the final third, frustrated in possession. Today was absolutely agonising. I cannot emphasize how difficult that was to watch and how frustrated I was at points today. It was absolutely diabolical. The football we were set, there was no urgency Absolutely no urgency whatsoever. When we were 1-1, when we were 1-0 down, when we were 2-1 down, no intent to throw the kitchen sink, no intent to throw our full force, the full force of Chelsea, our full weight forward. At 1-1, we were going to put Maatsen on, and then we conceded, and he took Maatsen, took Maatsen back to the bench. Was he going to go back to 5 at the back? Were we going to go back to a more defensive situation at 1-1? I don't understand what he was doing. He shouldn't have pulled Mudryk off, in my opinion. Should have pulled Jackson off for Broja, done a straight swap, kept Mudryk on. Mudryk wasn't fantastic today. A couple of shots off target where he should have done a little bit better. Didn't really face up Dalot as much as I would have liked to see him face him up. But at the same time, he's dangerous. Mudryk has that element of unpredictability and that speed that you can use in those final minutes. Whereas Nico Jackson, his spatial awareness was terrible. There were times where we were putting it, even when we were putting the balls in the box, he just was nowhere near around the 6-yard box or the 18-yard box flat. His touch was absolutely horrendous. I hate to say it because it's a horrible phrase, but touch of a rapist, bro. What the fuck was Nicholas Jackson smoking last night? Because he was hungover to fuck today. I mean, his touch, he looked so off it. I've been making excuses for this guy. I'm backing him and saying that we need to give him chances. Same with Broja as well, and I wasn't impressed with Broja. I know he hit the post and did a little bit better in terms of getting himself into the box and getting himself into dangerous positions. But Jackson today, so frustrating. I really hoped that Broja would get the start. I didn't think he would. I thought Jackson would start, and obviously he did. But Nicholas Jackson today, oh my God, fucking pants, bro. Jesus Christ, he was so bad in front of goal, missed a couple of big chances again. Touch was awful. Link-up play just weren't at it. Yes, he had a couple of little flicks around the corner and a couple of little, passages of play where he brought others in that were positive. But over 90 minutes, he was absolutely diabolical, bro. One of a few players that dropped absolute clangers today, absolute stinkers. And I mean, Raheem Sterling, he looked like our most dangerous player. Before I go any further, he looked like our most dangerous player going forward. But I wasn't impressed with Raheem Sterling today, going to ground way too easily. We've seen him dive in recently, and I'm not an advocate for that. Whoever it is, particularly not for Chelsea. I don't want to see us labelled cheat, scum, whatever it is. I don't even want to give them the option to throw those insults, throw that argument into the mix. But Raheem Sterling's doing that with some of what he's doing, and he's giving people and players reason to hate us. And I mean, he's doing it unnecessarily in chances where he could get a shot away or get a pass away or create a chance, create an opportunity. And I said during the game to the people I was watching it with, I mean, I'm a lot more harsh on Raheem Sterling, compared to the other attackers in terms of what they're doing in the final third and how good their final third and their final ball is, because of how much more experienced he is and because of how much more we expect from Raheem Sterling. We expect so much for him. He's the most senior player in that Chelsea attack in that Chelsea attack going forward. He should be leading by example. He was wearing the captain's armband tonight, before Levi Colwill took it off him before the game. And well, shout out to Levi Colwill. Before we get on to any more of the negativity, massive shout out to Levi Colwill, captain in Chelsea tonight, 26 on his back. What is he, 21 years of age? Absolutely fantastic achievement for him. His boyhood club. I've said, time and time again, future captain, El Capitan. Put in a shift tonight. Not his best game, but there were definitely worse performances. So I'm not going to dwell too long on Levi Colwill and focus on the positive there. But yeah, Raheem Sterling, man. Raheem Sterling's got to be doing more for me in terms of putting balls into the box, getting in dangerous situations, his decision making. It's just not the Raheem Sterling of City. We still haven't seen that Raheem Sterling at Chelsea. We've seen glimpses, but we've never ever seen that Raheem Sterling at Chelsea. Definitely not an extended period. We might have seen it for a half of football or 90 minutes of football here and there, but we definitely haven't seen it for an extended run of games. And it's frustrating because we know the geezer is so good. He has a legacy in the Premier League. He's one of City's best players, not just their best wingers. He's one of the best players ever, one of the most accomplished players ever. So let's not talk about Raheem Sterling and his credentials. We have every right to expect what we do from Raheem Sterling because of his legacy and because of what he's done in the Premier League. But what he has done is in no way equated to what he's doing now. It is so poor. Like I said, he should be leading by example. He should be putting other players in, bringing players like Cole Palmer under his wing. He should be teaching Mudryk how to do this, not the other way around. Mudryk shouldn't be the more dangerous player, the player that is creating more opportunities, looks like he's more likely to get a goal. But Raheem Sterling just looks a little bit off, man. And tonight, again, that final third, he just looks like he hasn't got that hunger. And that was a big thing with Chelsea tonight, the lack of hunger. I spoke briefly about the lack of urgency, but that goes hand in hand with the lack of hunger, the lack of desire for a win. I mean, Reece James, when he came on, so he played half of football, a few decent balls into the box. He probably created the best chances in terms of balls into the box. No one on the end of them because Nicholas Jackson is standing out on the left wing like some fucking numpty. Just get into the 6-yard box, get into the danger area. Even Broja, when Broja came on, he wasn't even standing in the area until he got a couple of opportunities and then, started to get in the mix. But in that situation, we should just be putting those two up front, getting them in there, big, strong strikers, getting them in up against Harry Maguire, cause them problems, make them make mistakes. We know that Onana is a mistake-prone keeper. How many mistakes has Onana made this season against lower team opposition? We did not make Onana make one serious save today. The only one that we did was when Sterling teed up Nicholas Jackson way too early, didn't commit the keeper. That was another example of Sterling making poor decisions in the final third. Could have committed the keeper, could have made it an open goal for Jackson, easy tapping, just like the Tottenham games, but he didn't. He didn't think about it, passed it way too early. And Onana, being the confident player that Onana is, just back down, just face down, just played chicken with Jackson. And Jackson, being the player out of form that he is, obviously was never going to score that opportunity when he was getting the ball. He's a first-time finisher. We've said that before. We've seen it. If he gets too much time to think about it, even 2-3 touches, I mean, the ball wasn't fantastic from Sterling, but if he gets 2-3 touches, he's probably going to miss it. If you give it to him on a plate first time, he's probably going to put it in the bottom corner. Give it to him first time. We've seen him do it. I don't understand why Sterling made that mistake, but it's just poor all round. And the lack of urgency, lack of heart, lack of desire. Reece James is a player that I think is way too casual. I've discussed this with my boys Kieran and a few others. He has no urgency to get the things going quickly. When he's on the ball at the back, he's got it under his heel. He's rolling it around. He's taking his time to pick a pass on throw-ins. He's taking his time. Bro, Reece James has so much potential. And I think a fully fit Reece James is the best right back in the Premier League, if not world football. But at the moment, given his form and how other players are doing, Trent is better. I can't sit here and say that Reece James is playing better than Trent because he's not. His performances when he was coming back from injury, 60 minutes each week, he was putting in 8-9 out of 10 performances. But after tonight and the last game being the red card, I can't sit here and say that Reece James is consistently putting in great shifts and can consistently, and can have the credit for me to turn around and say he's the best right back in the world or the Premier League. Even Trippier is putting in more of an argument, more of a conversation than Reece James right now. So he is a player that I think needs to not humble himself necessarily, because I think from his mindset, I think he's not a particularly egotistical player or, self-indulgent player or anything like that. I think he does come across like a fairly humble guy and a good guy. But he's got to put in more of a shift on the pitch. It's great PR putting out all these Instagram messages when you're training and saying, looking back to getting to full fitness, sorry about this, doing this, working as a team, building something. Not about building, bro. It's about now. You are the captain of Chelsea football team, and we need you to put in these performances now. We need you to lead by example now. And if that means throwing the kitchen sink, a Man United side that we know concede goals and we know leak at the back and we know can make mistakes, then up and at them, bro. Just start lumping balls into the box. Tell the rest of your team as the captain to get further forward. We did not look like we wanted to score an equaliser at any point. We did not look desperate for a goal at any point during that game. And it is so frustrating. I said before, the word today, the word when we normally lose is frustrating. The word today was agonising, bro. That was absolutely agonising. Absolutely horrible to watch. Painful to watch. I need to go and wash my eyes, bro. That was an absolute embarrassment for the majority of those Chelsea players. I think 9 players on the pitch. If your name's not Thiago Silva or Robert Sanchez, you can't hold your head high. Robert Sanchez, I give him a lot of slack, and his distribution was dire again tonight. Made so many errors from distribution, so many unenforced errors, so many misplaced passes out from the back that put us in dangerous situations. I've said before, his constant need to put out hospital balls and put us in those situations will be our downfall in the big games. It was a couple of times tonight. Those quick turnovers when we lose the ball, we can't keep it. Again, showing a naivety. But Robert Sanchez, for all his mistakes, distribution-wise, was his shot stopping absolutely phenomenal today. Made a couple of brilliant saves that kept us in the game. Like I said earlier, it would have been 4-1 4-1 at half-time, if not for Thiago Silva and Robert Sanchez. Robert Sanchez, it would have been 3-1 if not for Robert Sanchez. Made crucial McTominay save, obviously the penalty save as well. But it was a good save. I've got to I've discredited him or been so harsh on him in recent weeks. Credit where credit's due, although I've always maintained that he's a great shot-stopping goalkeeper. Credit where credit's due. He was fantastic tonight in terms of his shot-stopping abilities. Nothing he really could have done. I don't think from the goals. I think the goals were more of a defensive, defensive naivety, defensive inattention to detail, lack of care, lack of concentration. Obviously, I know Thiago Silva, he didn't get fouled. He slipped for that McTominay goal. It definitely wasn't a foul. Even when there were VAR and I was saying, get on with it. Definitely not a foul. But it was just lackadaisical from so many of those Chelsea players. Really, really disappointing shift from the majority of them, given how well we've progressed in recent weeks and some of the performances that we put in both individually and as a team in recent weeks against opposition like Tottenham, Arsenal, Manchester City, particularly the Manchester City one. The heart we showed, the spirit we showed in that game to come back and come back and come back again against the best team in the world. I was really hoping that we were going to see more of that. Obviously, so disappointed against Newcastle, got absolutely battered there, scraped it against Brighton. We were lucky to get away with it against Brighton. I think we did deserve the game, but Caicedo, lucky to maybe be on the pitch. Gallagher, getting sent off stupid decisions. We were lucky to get away with it in the manner in which we did. And then tonight, we tried our luck again and we didn't get away with it because we were against, regardless of what you want to say against Manchester United, a top opposition. They are one of, if not the biggest clubs in the world. They will always have an elite mentality built into that club. And on the big occasions, it's normally been Chelsea that have been the underdogs, and that is when we have flourished. We have really come into ourselves and gone up against the big teams, gone out and put in performances that people aren't expecting us to, and gone toe for toe and matched those teams. But we didn't do that at all today. And Man United is not a team that's been performing better than us consistently, but they absolutely battered us today. And in that first half, I know we normally wait before we go behind to actually switch on and start playing properly. But today, and I kind of thought, when we went 1-0 down today, I kind of thought, damn it, but at least it's early and we've got that out of the way and we can kind of kick on and start now. But we didn't. There was just no impetus from the get-go. There was no heart, no desire, like I said. And yeah, really not a Chelsea team today, a team of 9 individuals and 2 saviours at the back. But yeah, man, a couple of people in the cut. Enzo Maestro, my bro, horrendous football today. Your name is Enzo Maestro, so talk to us, bro. What did you think of Enzo's performance today? Because I thought Enzo was absolutely diabolical today. Dire. Yeah, Chelsea never fails to disappoint. Appreciate you jumping back on the live, my G. Everyone, if you're watching, make sure to like, make sure to drop us a like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe to the channel as well if you're not already. We are nearly at 1,000 subscribers, 200 at 1,000 subscribers. So make sure to plug in as soon as we get 1,000 and we are monetized. We're going to start doing giveaways and all of that good stuff. So make sure to plug in now and you could be in with a chance of winning free shit, football related, football shirt, sign memorabilia, all of it, man. Just make sure to subscribe to the channel and follow at Two Blues Podcast on the Instagram and the TikTok. Get involved in the comments as well, guys. What did you think of that Chelsea performance? Individuals, call them out. Who did you think was absolutely shite today? There were quite a few who I think deserve a bit of a flame in. So comment section, get involved, get at me. Just OMG, the boy was in here earlier. My guy, I appreciate you being here. We need to send Jackson to the academy with an under 7 so he can score more goals. Confidence, if confidence was an issue, I don't think it is because, he's sending out stupid fruity DMs, bro. His confidence to shoot his shot is definitely not there. It's just the quality of the shot, as we saw both on and off the pitch. Inability to score. Jackson is just diabolical. Whether with his balls or a ball, cannot seem to find the back of the net. I'm at lost ends with Nicholas Jackson. I've said so many times that I'll give him time. I'll make excuses for him. Give him an opportunity. At this point, we need to go in for someone in January. There's no way that we can make top half if we keep playing like this and don't have an option and don't have a focal point. I still think Nicholas Jackson has the tools to be a great striker and maybe to be that striker for us. But he just needs to refine what he's doing at the moment and calm down. He looks way too ill composed. The lack of composure in front of goal is just horrendous, bro. I've rarely seen poorer strikers. Hojlund tonight, no goals in 9 games, still looks sharper than Jackson, still look like a more dangerous player. I'd still rather have Hojlund in my team. His touch is so poor. And in pre-season, it was fantastic, both in link-up play, into feet, in behind the lines. He stopped making those intelligent runs. We've stopped looking for him, to be fair, but he stopped making those intelligent runs. Defenders have got him figured out. They just bully him now. He needs to be a little bit more physical. He's physical in the wrong areas, physical at the wrong times, makes silly decisions, gets silly bookings, makes silly challenges when he doesn't need to. But today, it wasn't even that. It was just on the ball, the lack of offering, the lack of goal threat that he offers, the lack of talent in front of goal. No doubt the guy has the ability to score and is talented and is a good footballer. Chelsea wouldn't have paid 30 million for him. He wouldn't be playing for Chelsea and in the Premier League and for Villarreal if he wasn't a fantastic player. But just MG, you're right, bro. His stock is going way down, particularly for me. It's just frustrating again. A player that we can clearly see has potential. It's just not working out for him, whether it's confidence, whether it's something off the pitch, whether it's the team around him, whether he needs somebody else up there with him, whether it's the system. I don't know. But he is just not that guy at the moment. And Broja is a player that I've been saying give more opportunities to. I was hoping that he might get a start tonight, didn't. But he was kind of poor tonight. I know he probably had one of our best chances of the game when he put the ball onto the post, but it never looked like going in. It wasn't really a great opportunity. He was just getting himself in the mix, which is something that we hadn't seen from any other Chelsea player throughout the whole 90 minutes. So it was nice to see Broja coming in and getting in amongst it. But at the same time, man, a little bit too little too late. Should have come on earlier for me. Should have been a straight swap for Jackson. Like I said, leave Mudryk on, a little bit more dangerous down the wing. Obviously, you got Sterling, Palmer. Palmer wasn't great today. His goal was fantastic. Let me just say, Cole Palmer. Round of applause for Cole Palmer because his goal was absolutely sublime. The technique, the control. I think Onana could have done a little bit better. The ball dribbled in. Maybe shouldn't have dived that late. Maybe should have stayed on his feet and just run out and cleared it. Or, maybe should have just dived a little bit further. But I think Onana could have done a little bit better with that. But having said that, he squeezed it through the gap perfectly, threaded the needle. Superb contribution from Cole Palmer today. Although, I don't think he was fantastic. Probably one of the poorest performances in recent weeks from Cole Palmer. I know he didn't start last week, so he might have gone a little bit off the boil. But, bro, it's tough. It's tough. All these players are so consistent or so reliant, on having consistent minutes and consistent game time. As soon as you drop them out of the first 11, they seem to just revert back to struggling to play football, forgetting which is their left and their right foot, putting the boots on the wrong feet, whatever you want to say. It looks like rookie mistakes. Mudryk looks off the ball whenever you take him out of the team and put him back in. Madueke, same with him. When you put him back in against Brentford, looked terrible. And then, Cole Palmer tonight, just not on it, not at the level that he has been for Chelsea in recent weeks, which is disappointing and frustrating, man. David saying, appreciate you joining, my guy. Just give me anything. Lukaku, Jackson cannot play for his life. Guys, should we recall Lukaku in January? I know he's banging in goals for Roma. I don't know if he's banging them in still. I know he was banging them in earlier in the season. Is he still banging them in? Should we bring him back? I think he's probably gone and that ship has sailed completely. But, would it be worse than Jackson right now? I don't know, bro. IMG. Could have been worse. Could have been City. Could have lost to Villa 2-0. Yeah. But that's the worst thing, bro. Not, icing on the cake. It's like the Chelsea defeat was bad enough. But then, I go on my phone, game finishes, go on my phone, check Sky Sports, check the other scores, see that Arsenal are top of the table. And it's like, at this point, you're just taking the piss. You know, it's just not what I want to see on a Wednesday night. You know, I was so excited. You know, festive football's back. You get an extra round of fixtures. It's on Amazon Prime. You can watch them all. Nah, bro. Finished, man. Finished. And he's right. Like the stream, guys. If you're watching, make sure to like. Make sure to drop us a comment. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We are nearly at 1,000 subscribers. As soon as we go monetized, as soon as we hit 1,000, we're going to start doing giveaways of football shirts, signed football memorabilia, not just from Chelsea, from other clubs as well. So make sure to subscribe. You don't have to do anything else. It's free. It takes a second. And yeah, in with a chance of winning some free stuff. You'll never have to do another damn thing in your life. So make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. But yeah, guys, get your thoughts in. I probably won't be live for that much longer. Get your thoughts in on that Chelsea game. Absolutely diabolical, as we've said, from pretty much from top to bottom. Who haven't we spoke about? I mean, we've discussed pretty much everyone. Mudryk had a couple of great chances, which he should have done better with. But he really didn't look like his most dangerous self. And I said before the game, I think I commented on Chelsea's Instagram from the Two Blues account saying, you know, Mudryk's got to run rings around Dalot today. Bro, he did not have a single great one-on-one opportunity where he could have gone past him, or where he beat him, or where he did something dangerous, or where he actually did something that troubled Dalot or troubled that Man United defence. A couple of infield runs. When he comes inside, he looks all right. When he gets a shot away, I mean, I don't think he scored one yet, other than that screamer against Brighton in pre-season. Obviously, that didn't count, but his finishing just looks, well, everything that we see in training is so, he's so well controlled. His technique is fantastic. He's only scoring bangers. Obviously, they're only showing us the best bits and the goals from training, but on the pitch, he just looks like he lacks that little bit of composure, not just in the final third, not just in finishing, but yeah, in the final third as a whole, but finishing. He could have done better today. Had a couple of opportunities where, I mean, he's got to be confident in himself and stop thinking about the defender and going down and whether he's going to get contacted. Just take everything else out of the equation. Just think about yourself, the ball, the keeper, the goal. Get the ball on target. Just get your head down, get a good shot on the ball, get good top contact, and get the shot on target. Make Onana work, because a keeper like Onana, we really didn't test Onana tonight. I mean, name me one real time where we tested Onana, where we made him work. I don't think there was one. Obviously, I mean, the goal, he got nowhere near. There wasn't a time that we made Onana work, and it was so frustrating, because they were a team there that was ready for the taking. They were right for the taking, bro. Man United are in awful form, like us. They were in probably the worst season of their, you know, recent history post Sir Alex Ferguson, and we are in our worst season in, you know, the last 15, 20 years. We're in very much the same boat, but the difference is Man United pulled together tonight and actually put in a serious performance, both individually and as a team, whereas Chelsea just looked like they didn't give a fuck. Chelsea was strolling around the Chelsea players in that second half were strolling around the pitch like they didn't care. They pass the ball and they leave, and they just stand there. Sorry, they don't move. The first thing you get taught, or one of the first things you get taught as a young player, as a young kid playing football at any level, at the most basic level, pass and move, pass and move, pass and give someone an option. Pass and give someone an option. Let them know you're there and available. Chelsea do not do that. It is the most basic stuff that Chelsea don't do. The spatial awareness, the pass and move, the runs, the balls into the box, where you should be. Nicholas Jackson's playing out of position. It is the basics. Playing out from the back. I mean, we put ourselves in trouble so many times tonight. We probably would have lost on chances squandered at the back, unenforced errors, playing around and messing around at the back alone tonight. I mean, it was absolutely awful, some of the football that we were playing or trying to play, just in stupid decisions. And the difference was that Man United were pressing us to fuck and making us make those mistakes. We know that Man United, they're playing with a makeshift defence of Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof. Bro, these men aren't top defenders. And if you pressure them and if you put them under pressure and put 3-4 players on them, they will make mistakes. And if you knock their confidence and get onto them, they will make mistakes. But Chelsea players just did not do that. Nicholas Jackson presses, they knock the ball around him, and that's it. It's over. Palmer presses, they knock the ball away, that's it. There is no second, third man in that Chelsea press. They do not press as a team. They do not look like a team. They do not look like a unit, bro. It is absolutely diabolical how poor, how little this Chelsea side work in terms of their press. And I've said so many times on streams before, the main thing that we were told from Spurs fans, and from everybody else. It was kind of known that Poch obviously runs his teams into the ground. His fitness is his main thing. Spurs fans, we even went on Spurs fans' channel and they were saying, look, you guys are going to see it later in the season, and even kind of earlier in the season, but later in games. But later in the season, your guys' fitness is going to be so much further above other teams. You are going to be so clear of other teams in terms of how far you run and how much you can run in that last 30 minutes, which is so crucial. So much of that game is won and lost in those final 30 minutes, lapses of judgment, lapses of pace, mistakes, when players are a little bit more tired. So much of that game is won and lost in that final third. In Chelsea, I have not seen this boost. I have not seen this fitness increase. I have not seen fuck all from Pochettino in terms of a benefit. I have not seen our ability to press teams, our coordination, our organisation has not improved one bit. The football we play has improved. The individuals we have in our team have improved. The style of play that we have has improved. But the overall coordination, the overall positional awareness, the discipline in this team, that's the main thing that I think has been lost in this team. Obviously, the experience has gone down, and a lot of these Chelsea players are playing in their first or second seasons, whereas in the last couple of seasons, we've had players that have been there for 3-4 years. They might have been fairly new, but they still understood the regime. They still understood what was expected of them. And most importantly, they still understood their position in this team and in this squad. A lot of these Chelsea players are, it sounds like a big excuse, but are still working that out. We're 15 games into the season. And a lot of these Chelsea players, this Chelsea 11 hasn't been the same once. A lot of these Chelsea players haven't played in their positions for 15 games. They've probably played at best for 10 games in their position with the partner that they are looking at. If you're talking left back, right back, who's playing on that side of centre back and who's playing on the flank. The number 10's been constantly changing. The midfield 3's been constantly. It has been constant rotation in that Chelsea side. We have not been able to get a grip on our first choice or best 11. We have not been able to get a consistent, first 11 down because of injuries, because of suspensions, naivety, ill discipline again. But all of that feeds back into the lack of consistency in the side and the miscommunication when these players are losing balls, passing it to nobody, when they don't know who's where. All of that feeds down to a lack of consistency in the starting 11, I personally think anyway. And if you don't consistently give these same players game time and let them play together and let them learn how each other play and focus on the build-up play between the players rather than the end product, then it will come, because the chances that they create, they will start to play this good football. They will start to get themselves in positions that are dangerous, and they can just make it very, very easy for each other to just put it on a plate and let Nicholas Jackson finish it first time. But instead, we are just so laborious in possession. I do not understand why we are, like I said before, not throwing the kitchen sink. We are struggling to do anything but pass it amongst the back three. Whether we're at 0-0, 1-0, 2-0, whatever it is, Chelsea will always take their time at the back. We will always pass it from left to right, look to switch it, which I don't mind in terms of being patient. You don't want to rush it, don't want to give the ball away, all of that. But we have the quality, we have the players that have enough quality going forward that we can, start to throw some balls into the box. Players like Reece James could put a very, very good quality ball in the box. If you get 2-3 players like the likes of Nicholas Jackson, Armando Broja in the box, they can start to, Cole Palmer, I'm pretty sure he's scored headers before. There are plenty of players in that Chelsea team that could be a threat. And I just don't understand why we're not utilising them and nailing down players to a consistent 11, getting them playing with a team that they are familiar with, a system that they are familiar with, so that we can get a rhythm, a pattern going. Because the performances have been getting better, but it hasn't been consistent. It has been one step forward, 2 steps back. In this case, 1 step forward, 7 steps back with the Newcastle and this game. This has been absolutely dreadful, but the consistency is the main thing for me. I think the consistency in the team selection feeds back to so much. And I know that it's difficult with the injuries and with the selection that we have, but Poch has got to soon start choosing the same players. And today, putting Cucurella at right back, mistake for me. Levi Cole chat. Let me know in the comments. Levi Cole as a left back. What do we think? Looks like he's being moulded into a full-term first choice left back. And what do we think of that? Obviously, we still got Ben Chilwell on the books. Levi Colwill, to me, looks like he has the potential to be a great left back, but he hasn't got that pace, that natural pace of a wide player, which is why I think he is a better centre back. But he does have good qualities. It's interesting. It's a dilemma, particularly when you've got 120 million worth of left backs sitting on the bench, but or in the treatment room. But yeah, man, Colwill at left back looks like he's being converted. Let me know what we think of that. We'll jump back into the comments. Seems like people are fairly active. Chelsea misses Connor. I said this earlier. I hate to say it, but we did. And it's the lack of consistency in the starting lineup. I said before, when you take Enzo, when you take Caicedo out of that starting 11, harms the team. When you take Conor Gallagher out of that 11, harms the team, unfortunately. I was saying tonight it could have been, and I thought it might have been a blessing in disguise because it means we can play a few more attacking players, a little bit more of an attacking setup. It means a little bit more attacking intent and more chances created, but that definitely wasn't the case. Well, I mean, it might have been the case, but definitely not chances taken. And yeah, overall on the balance of it, would have rather had Connor to help control the midfield, but that is his fault, for making stupid challenges, stupid decisions last week. And yeah, he'll be back next week, no doubt, in that starting lineup. Poch so unlucky. Imagine if he just put his best 11 and everyone would not look unprofessional. Well, who do you think his best 11 was there, bro? Because I mean, Reece James for Disassi aside, I think that starting 11 was probably our best 11, best available 11 anyway. So I don't really know what you would have changed from that starting 11. Maybe Colwill at centre back, Cucurella at left back, no Disassi. That's personally what I would have done, but in hindsight, no Cucurella. Get rid of him. OMG, I'm so confused how you play well against the big clubs, City, Spurs, but lose to a small one today. I don't understand, Bryce. I said before, inconsistencies, that underdog mentality, we seem to do well. But United today just had more heart, more belief, more desire. They wanted it more. We really were not in it. We got absolutely battered, bro, on and off the ball. Second best team by a long mile today. Not meant to be taking a piss, by the way. I didn't think you were, my G. Cucurella was our best player. Have a word. Cucurella was our best player. He had a shocker. He was getting absolutely cooked by Garnacho. And he kept going down as well. Cucurella was fucking bollocks, bro. What are you on about? What are you smoking, my G? Cucurella was terrible. He was getting pulled all sorts of out of position, bro. He was, I do not get me started again on Cucurella. I was talking about Cucurella earlier. And I had to stop myself from going in on the guy because we know I like to rant and to hit on Cucurella. But oh my God, my guy was fucking pants today, bro. My guy was shit. My guy was, oh my God, my guy was awful, bro. Cucurella, that was a stinker. That's a stinker for saying that he was our best player. That was Thiago Silva or Robert Sanchez were our best player. Cucurella was not our best player today. Cucurella was diabolical. I'm glad he got taken off at half time, and he could have got taken off earlier for me as well. Oh, shoot. We got Man United fans all in the chat. Man United fans are quiet all season. They didn't want to watch the What's Gone Wrong episode that we did with Trav from Onto the Ball. Shout out, Trav, if you're in the car. I'll check the comments. I think I saw your name pop up. But yeah, man, all the Man United fans coming out of the woodwork now that the wins are back on the board. Let's just say, all I'm going to say is, look, my favourite spy, my favourite British spy of all time is not, most people think that James Bond 007 is the best British spy, but I think 009 is underrated. I think 009, Rasmus Højlund, brilliant spy. He's just doing God's work, obviously just missing chances left, right and centre, keeping his play absolutely clean, spotless, not a lick of food on that plate for Rasmus Højlund. Absolutely brilliant use of what was it, 80 mil, 70 mil? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and say 70. Great money spent, boys. Mason Mount, what money spent? Rasmus Højlund, what money spent? But yeah, bro, that's as much chat as I'm going to give to Man United fans because they, like I said, they absolutely fucked us tonight. High time we look at Zidane as the new manager. Poch is done. Now, when we were talking about new managers, hypothetically, after Graham Potter, it might have been during Graham Potter when I wanted him out. I did say Zidane would be my ideal manager, my first choice manager. However, completely unrealistic. Zinedine Zidane is never going to come and manage Chelsea. I say never. Maybe if we, get back to the top tier Chelsea, Premier League winning Chelsea again, we might get a manager like Zidane. But Zidane, bro, no chance, bro. He will be steering well clear of Chelsea. We couldn't even get a manager like fucking Heckingbottom at the moment, bro. I reckon if we sack Poch tomorrow, we couldn't get Paul Heckingbottom. He wouldn't take the Chelsea job. We couldn't get Chris Wilder. We couldn't. These men don't want the Chelsea job, bro. The Chelsea job absolutely stinks at the moment. A few people still watching, by the way. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel as well if you're not already. We are nearly 1,000 subscribers. As soon as we're monetized, doing giveaways, free football shirts, signed football memorabilia. Just subscribe to the channel. It's free, easy. Don't take you no time or money, and you get free shit back for it. If you want Reece, put him left wing back. David, I'm going to stop reading your comments because that's 2 in a row, 2 stinkers in a row, bro. Cucurella was our best player and then put Reece James left back. Why would we put Reece James a right-footed right back, left back? He's fine where he is. Don't need to put any other. Who would you replace him with at right back? I'll let you have I'll give you one more comment if you're still watching, Deminar. If this is a good replacement for Reece James, I'll say it, but if not, brazy. What is also brazy is Holden and McTominay brace. That is brazy, bro. I mean, people will tell you McTominay's a shooter, man. We found the shooter. It's McTominay. McTominay is the shooter, bro. He's been that shooter for Scotland. What is it? 5 goals in 8 games for Man United as well, yeah? Big one thing. He might be that guy. Stick him up front. Get rid of Hoyland. Get rid of 009. Of course, Charm's hiding again. Always hiding, man. Always hiding. But now this is the format from now on. I'm going to be doing my live match reactions straight after the game, just because Charms won't always be there. So I'll do my match reactions straight after the game, and then later in that evening we'll do a full match reaction, hopefully with a guest as well. Won't be tonight because obviously it's just way too late. But yeah, hopefully we'll speak about it at some point this week or this weekend. Trav, good to have you in the cup, bro. I'm regretting sending you those text messages saying I'm confident. You know what? I said I'm slightly confident. I put I'm low key confident. Deleted it, but I'm slightly confident. Then I saw the team news and I went, I'm confident. Let me get my Let me find my hindsight glasses, my hindsight goggles, because fuck, should never have said that. No, I said I wouldn't put another Demon message up. Trav comes out the woodwork. Yeah, they're all coming out the woodwork. They're all coming out the woodwork. Hasn't been on this channel for how long? He pops up now. No, I'm joking. Shout out to Trav and to Scott. Shout out to Onto the Ball podcast. If you're a Liverpool or a Man United fan, follow them up. They do all of those streams. But also, if you like football, go and follow them up. They obviously cover all of the big games. Great channel. Our favourite channel from the north. I completely agree. There's no intensity or desire, man. You just wanted it more. It's frustrating. 100%, bro. I said today, normally it's frustrating. Today it was agonizing. Man United just wanted it more, bro. And like I said, when Chelsea have that underdog, let me know what you think, Trav, but maybe it's just that small team mentality that you guys have at the moment, obviously being the smallest team in Manchester. But it's techie, man. It's techie. Absolutely tumped. Desire alone should not account for the tumping that we got today. Should not account for the difference in level of quality in those teams. That was absolutely fucking awful today. Front to back from that Chelsea team. So wanting it more is just not good enough. A lot of those players had awful games today as well. Can't understand. Is it a project or is it time to panic? I don't think it's panic stations just yet, but it's definitely showing us signs of it. There's enough in the good games and enough in the wins just to keep Poch afloat at the moment and just to keep him out of that panic station situation, just to keep him out of that red zone. But it will come soon. Pause. Going into Christmas, the fixtures come fast, so it's hard to say. And with Chelsea at the moment, I can't really say we've got a good run of fixtures or difficult run of fixtures. No run of fixtures is easy at the moment. No game is easy at the moment for Chelsea. We could have Luton, Sheffield and Burnley next, and I'd say that's a difficult run of fixtures for Chelsea. I mean, it's a difficult run of fixtures for anybody when teams are in the relegation zone, but for Chelsea, I'd say that's 4 points out of 9. I'd say we'd lose one, draw one, win one. My form, my hope in us at the moment, and my hope in our form and faith in us at the moment is so low. We are so inconsistent. You just do not know what Chelsea team you are going to get. You don't know what to expect. There is always going to be some glimpses of quality, some good passages of play. But yeah, today just nowhere near enough. Nothing in the final third. All the good passages of play were out from the back. Good little slot through the middle, split the defense open, 3-on-2, and then absolutely awful decision making to get the ball past the post. It just same old Chelsea, always missing chances. Get me back to the boring Chelsea of Jose Mourinho, where we used to just lump it forward, score one, play a low block, win 1-0. Get me back to those days. I would take back-to-back 1-0 wins against any teams right now. It's just so many things wrong with this Chelsea side today. And I'm really hoping that today I think today was a lot worse than other performances and a lot more individual weaknesses and errors to expose rather than underlying team problems. So in terms of being a worry and panic stations, I don't think so just yet. But I think a few of these Chelsea players are getting a little bit complacent. And I know I keep saying, we need to keep the team the same, but we do need to keep these players on their toes. And it's not necessarily dropping them out. We don't really have the cup games to be dropping players out and rotating players. We need to be still figuring out our best first team. But I'm really hopeful that Nkunku is fit next week, at least to be on the bench. We were told that it was going to be after the international break. We were told it was going to be Man United. I haven't spoken about it because I was just hoping that if I stayed quiet, it was going to happen. Absolutely no sign of him at all, not even at the stadium today. It's doing my head in that we're going to get halfway through the season and not have seen 110 million worth of Chelsea's investment in Nkunku and Lavia. Obviously, I know it's through no fault of the players and no fault of the majority of the squad, and we do not want to rush them back just to injure them. But at the same time, this Chelsea side needs something, and whether it's Nkunku to just come in and hold that number 9 position down, even when he's not 100% match fit, fuck it, man. Let it happen, because anything's an upgrade on Nico Jackson at the moment. As much as I'm an advocate for Broja, he didn't do enough for me tonight to keep down that starting position. Yes, I think Broja should start against Everton and should be given an opportunity. But fuck it, man. Getting Nkunku into this side ASAP. I've said so many times I can't and I don't want to heap pressure onto the guy's shoulders, particularly before he's even kicked a ball in a competitive game for Chelsea. But we need this guy to do what he did in the Bundesliga and absolutely cooked. It can't be a Timo Werner situation. He can't be hit and miss. It's got to be a Haaland situation, bro. He's got to fit into this team immediately, and he's got to bang goals, bro. He has to have an instant impact on this Chelsea team in the way that we play, in the output in the final third, because that there will just instantly, if Nkunku comes back, when Nkunku comes back, that first start, morale will be at an all-time high this season for Chelsea. The fans are going to be absolutely loving it. They're going to be buzzing for the game. If he comes out of that game with a goal, we come out winning, 2 goals and an assist, or a goal and an assist, that we've won 4-0 against the lower team opposition, whoever it is, confidence is going to be absolutely sky high. If we then go on a run of 2-3 wins with Nkunku scoring and or assisting in a couple of games, the fan base is going to be behind them. Stamford Bridge is going to be positive. The pundits are going to be looking at Chelsea a lot more favourably. The league table is probably going to be a lot more favourable for us. And Nkunku is a pivotal part of this Chelsea side, whether we like it or not. Morale-wise, quality-wise, goals-wise, output-wise, everything. And Nkunku is a huge factor. So I can't wait for Christopher Nkunku to come back in. And I also can't wait for Romeo Lavia to come back in, because he is a quality player. And while I don't think he gets into the Chelsea first 11, a fully fit Chelsea first 11 when they're all playing well, because Caicedo and Enzo are the best centre midfield pairing for me, I do think he should be given an opportunity. I think he is good enough to shake it up. I think Ugo Chukwu is a good enough player to use in rotation and in cup games, but not good enough to be thrown on in a starting in a Premier League game like he did last week against Newcastle. We'll see what happens when, we saw what happens even, when you make those kind of errors of judgment, those mistakes with inexperienced players. And while Lavia is, inexperienced. He's played at the Premier League, played at the top level for a while. He knows what we expect. He's a quality player. I think he's miles better than Ugo Chukwu in terms of technical ability and as a footballer as well. So yeah, Romeo Lavia for me it is an interesting one when he comes back in, but hopefully he'll be able to challenge the squad. Not panic stations just yet, but it will be very soon. Abdi, appreciate you joining us, bro. Yeah, man, we were playing the wrong Manchester. The wrong Manchester. I don't know about pressed us more than we thought. I mean, I think that probably was. That's a good point, Joe. It probably was, but I just think, regardless of how much you pressed, we're awful at dealing with it because we're so lackadaisical. We're so casual at the back. We're so relaxed, kicking the ball around, and then we do make that error. We don't understand the notion of pressing as a team ourselves. I said it before. I don't know if you're on the stream at that point, but I said it ourselves. We were watching you guys press 3-4 players at a time and making us make mistakes. You guys were making unenforced errors and misplaced passes at the back without us even doing that. So we should have turned around and been like, right, if we then, when they do get the ball at the back and they are playing out these short goal kicks, go and stick 3-4 players on them, make them make a mistake, sweat them out, put the pressure on them, get their backs to the wall. Because we know that this Manchester United side, I hate to say it to you as a Man United fan, this Man United side has been crumbling of late and has showed very, very weak signs in this defense. We know they can be exploited, particularly if you do get a couple little knocks to the confidence. You get a couple little chips in that wall and the whole thing starts to crumble down. I think at the end of the day, even if Chelsea had got a couple of goals and had broke Manchester United down and had made it more of a game today, I honestly think Man United would have come out on top. I think it just would have been one of those days. I don't want to say everything went for Man United, but in terms of performance and on the pitch, I think everything, those little bounces, those 50-50s was going Man United's way. But to their credit, that was because they were putting it in and they wanted it more. But just an agonising game. I can't say agonising anymore. George, I don't think it's this desperate. But yeah, man, poor showing from Pochettino. I appreciate you tuning in, George. Don't know if I've seen you on the channel before, but make sure to drop us a like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already, my guy. But yeah, guys, horrible loss for Chelsea today. Big loss. It was a big game, must-win game if we were, thinking about getting European qualification. Big game in terms of the context of the festive fixtures. But we go on to Everton next week, which is going to be an incredibly difficult game. Thinking that they can get out the relegation zone with a win next week against us, high flying. That 10-point deduction really has just fucking smashed them. It's just been a monumental line of cocaine to Everton's season. Up Sean Dyche's schnoz and Jesus Christ. I fear for Chelsea next week. Everton have been a bogey team of late, particularly when we were under Frank Lampard. They used to turn us over, but my God, I'm not looking forward to Chelsea next week. But yeah, the less said about that for now, the better, and the less thought about this game, the better. That just about wraps it up. We will lock it off, guys. If you are still watching, thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate you. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I know I've said it a few times during this stream, but we're nearly at 1,000 subscribers. As soon as we're at 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, we'll be monetized. As soon as we're monetized, we're going to be doing giveaways. That'll be football training shirts, football shirts, signed football memorabilia, signed other bits. It's not going to be football bits. If we find something cool and we have it to give away, we'll give it away. Get involved, subscribe to the channel. It's free, don't cost you anything, don't take you any time, and you might be in with a chance of winning some free shit. So yeah, man, appreciate you joining us. Make sure to follow @2Blues Podcast on the Instagram, on the TikTok.